had his way with most face-off guys, but not against Gerard Arceri, who's also a preseason All-American and All-American last year. So great battle at the face-off X. Keep an eye on that. See who can win the possession battle.
Once again, that's Jersey Joe Gillette. I'm Varun Raghupathy. You just saw our two impact players, Grant Ament for Penn State, and then for Penn, the 10-goal scorer, Sean Lully, who has certainly had to up his impact as the Quakers have dealt with injuries in the early part of the season. But we start at X. Gerard Arceri for Penn State has won more than 70% of his faceoffs against the Quakers during his career. And the very impressive Kyle Gallagher will need to continue to improve if the Quakers want to take down the number 2 Nittany Lions.
We've got B.J. Farrar coming from the near wing. Outstanding sophomore long stick midi for Penn. And on a violation, Penn State gets the first possession of the game.
So the Nittany Lions have not had as tough of a schedule to start the year as the Quakers. They've beaten St. Joe's, Lafayette, and Villanova. Penn State has lost to Yale, the best team they've played. That was a 2-goal defeat for the Nittany Lions.
And that's the one team that seems to have Penn State's number.
In front, low shot and a goal, and Penn State starts it off on the right foot. Jack Kelly, the junior midfielder out of Toronto, gives the Lions a 1-0 lead less than 30 seconds into this one.
Well, we got to see firsthand here Grant Ament and his skills as an attackman. Drives to the X and then comes back, and he's always looking with his eyes up. And on the backside, you had a cutter, and Ament was able to hit him on the stick, as he does with his assists. I forget how many assists he has, but I think he's up to 271 points in his career at Penn State, and most of those are assists.
Those are quarterback numbers right there for the local product, Grant Ament out of Doylestown, Pennsylvania, and the Haverford School, just a couple of miles down the road on the main line. And we go back to the X, Arceri and Gallagher once again. Last year, a 1-goal win for Penn State, 15-14. In fact, 2 of their 3 wins against Penn in a row have been by just 1 goal. So the Quakers have been right there against what has become one of the best programs in the country over the last 2 decades.
It has, and credit Jeff Tambroni and his staff at Penn State. He's in his 10th season there, and a lot of people thought he'd immediately make them a national power. It took a little longer than people thought, but he certainly has pulled it off.
Here's Ament once again, getting behind the cage and working with his teammates to try and extend what is already a 1-goal advantage.
It's Piper Bond, the sophomore, playing short stick D-midi there. And
bounces one in to make it 2-0, so a couple of early goals for Penn State. One was assisted, this one unassisted. The Lions looking sharp in both regards.
Yep, Piper Bond was playing him aggressively behind the cage there, and he just gets beat top side. Jack Trainer of Penn State puts it by Robichaud. It's a quick 2-0 start for the Nittany Lions.
And we'll step aside as the Quakers talk things over. A little more than a minute gone by. Penn
as well. It's been we haven't gotten to the ball on the offensive end yet.
Gallagher and Arceri. Penn against Penn State. Gallagher scoops the ball high into the air. Quaker wing heading for it. And before JoJo Biddle can field it, it gets chopped out of his cross. Gallagher coming back to get it, and the Quakers will have their first offensive possession here at home. The home opener for Penn as they try to go to 2-1 on the young season.
Well, and I like that. Penn, Gallagher made it a 50-50 ball, and Penn was able to work together to win the GB. Gallagher's leading the nation in ground balls per game average.
Quakers coming off a big win against Duke in Charlotte last week. Here's a question mark turn and a shot, and Penn's on the board. Dylan Gerger, the sophomore out of Annapolis, continues his hot start to his second campaign for Penn, 2-1 Penn State.
Yeah, Dylan Gerger has done an amazing job. Last year he did not start at all, but accumulated 22 or 23 points as a freshman coming off the bench. Oftentimes he'd come in for Sean Lully, and Lully would move to offensive midfield. But this year they got him out there starting, and I don't think they're going to be pulling Lully off attack either, given his start.
Lully 10 goals, 3 assists so far. And Gerger getting Penn a much-needed goal. We go back to the X.
And, you know, this could be a high-scoring affair, which leads to that many more face-offs. Fatigue could become a factor. We'll see who's in better shape, Gallagher or Arceri.
You know that our series had a lot of success against Penn over the years. But the most recent face-off before that one was won by the Penn Wings, and this is a violation for our Syrians, so the Quakers with 2 offensive possessions in a row.
Correct.
Quakers in the opener lost to Maryland. They usually get off to good starts, though, at least this season. They led after 1 against Maryland 8-5, and then led 3-1 against Duke after 15 minutes, though Penn State threw the first punch today. Nice spin move as the Quakers get down to X.
Yeah, the Maryland game was a bit of a heartbreaker. They had a 6-goal lead with 5 minutes left in the third quarter, and then everything started going Maryland's way from there on out, and they lost by 2. But they certainly showed they can play with anyone that day.
Absolutely, and then if you weren't sure, you definitely were after their win over Duke, 14-11, where the Quakers played the role of comeback kids. They get a big victory in Charlotte.
Yeah, that was great. Great for the program. Oh, little mishandle of the ball there by Goldner, but the loose change gets picked up.
Classic case of wanting to shoot before having it fully in the cross, but
he's probably got the quickest release in the nation. He does like to let it fly quickly. Great look
nice
by
feed.
Lully.
Oh, that is amazing stuff from Jack Schultz.
We call that the twister. Little backhanded flip into the goal. Oh, it didn't didn't count.
Wow. That was fun to watch. The pass and the shot as well.
Thought it was in.
Yeah, deep in the shot clock, but it is not a tie game.
It was a great look by Lully.
Yeah, it would have been another assist for a player who's racked up points at an astronomical pace early in this one. 13 points for Lully through 2 this year.
Averaging 5 goals a game.
That is best in the country on the young season. Quakers back, close defense. Doorstep, and a nice save there.
Birkinshaw needed that one. That'll help his confidence.
And again, as we talked about, the first 2 Penn State goals were not really the product of Birkinshaw not being at his best. It was more the defense.
Correct.
Not giving Birkinshaw.
Yeah, those were doorstep shots that Penn State got to score their first 2. Good clear by Jack Joyce. Looks like Kivat Postel on the field. Hasn't seen it. I thought we'd see more of him. But it's nice to see him out there. He's a junior, I believe, from Haverford. No, senior this year. My apologies.
Yeah, one of a couple of Haverford School alums on the field for both sides. As you might imagine, a lot of Penn State players from Philly. There's a shot and a goal. And there's Postel, this senior, tying things up at 2.
Love to see that. Love to see that. The senior getting a shot and takes advantage right away. We've got ourselves a tie ball game. 10.5 left in the first quarter.
So it looks like when the Quakers have the ball on offense, things are looking pretty good. I mean, they've been sharp their first 3 possessions. They didn't get a goal the middle possession, but they've certainly gotten the shots that a coach would be happy with.
Absolutely, and that was a great sweep left by Kivat and a good finish to the back pipe. But Penn's offense has not been the issue. I think the defense is the question mark on this team. The offense has proven to be extremely explosive.
15 goals against Maryland and then 14 against Duke.
And a lot of different goal scorers, a lot of different contributors.
10 different scorers for Penn in the early going. And
same holds true for Penn State, by the way. Very explosive offense. And a very accomplished defense as well.
There's Gallagher doing it all by himself, and the Quakers suddenly finding themselves to be the team on the front foot. A bounce shot. It might have hit a Penn State player, but it goes to X.
Yep. Ricocheted off a stick. Good handle by Gergar. Colby Canese almost stole that one.
Gergar was triple teamed and got out of it, and Quakers will reset the offense just a bit. It's a step inside to the doorstep, but no shot attempt. The pass is a little errant from Schultz, who almost scored a phenomenal highlight reel goal, and instead it is a turnover by Penn, and Penn State a clear opportunity. They're having trouble getting it out of their end as Braden Peck, the junior, gets clobbered.
Well, Braden Peck, he's the one who knocked that pass down and caused the turnover. Hope he's okay here. Great hustle by Penn to ride and not cede the clear.
It is a cold day, so those hits that would certainly hurt on any day might sting a little bit extra.
Let's see if we can see what happened here. Well, he's holding his the back of his knee.
Might have gotten hit by that swooping in stick. So Peck down. 5'11" junior from West Grove, PA.
Yeah, and he's part of, I was saying before, a very staunch defense. It's only given up less than 8.5 goals per game, over the first 4 games of the season for Penn State. Obviously anchored by the All-American goalie, Colby Knies, but they also have an outstanding defense that includes, their senior captain who plays long stick midi, Tommy Wright, and Nick Cardeal of West Grove, PA, number 16, is also senior captain. So they've got a lot of senior leadership on this team. They returned, I don't know how many, but a lot of All-Americans, maybe 7. And
a lot of continuity.
Yeah.
This is a good sign. Peck off on his own power. A slight limp, but
that's great
off.
To see.
Yeah.
Great to see. Whenever they grab for their knee, I fear the worst, but nice to see him run off.
Absolutely. It's somewhat perverse to say, but when you see someone grabbing at the knee after the knee was contacted, you're perhaps a little more hopeful.
Well, that's true, because usually a bad knee injury happens on a cut,
right,
or if there's a hit absolutely on the side of the knee.
Nonetheless, the Quakers got that caused turnover and are back on offense, looking for lead number 1 this afternoon. Here's Schultz down to X. Gagar trying left doorstep. Good slide from the Penn State defender. Quakers whip it around the horn. Bedard, low shot, and it's caught and taken in by Colby Knies. So that would have gone wide, but Knies did well to give Penn State quicker possession, and now they matriculate to the left side of the field.
Nick Cardeal brings it down. He was looking to get an assist there, but I think Penn State wisely slows it down. That was Dylan Fold slowing it down and giving it to Grant Ament to get their personnel on.
Quakers did a really good job in terms of their ride against Duke. Just 23 of 30. If you're the Blue Devils, that's unacceptable.
Agreed. And, if Penn can cause that many turnovers like they did against Duke, their chances improve dramatically.
Yeah, they won pretty much every statistical category, and though they weren't leading, or they were trailing, I should say, late, they picked up the victory. That pass in front does not go to the intended target. A couple of players took a spill, including Penn State's TJ Malone, but the Nittany Lions still have it, and the shot clock is back up to 80. So I believe that would have been a foul on Penn to reset the timer. 2 apiece. Penn has scored the last 2. 39th meeting between these two programs. Ball in front and taken by the Quaker netminder, Patrick Birkinshaw, the Virginia transfer. Had a nice save earlier. There's a pass to the doorstep. Good find
great
and a
finish.
Great shot there by Sean Lully. The juniors at 11 goals, and that is end-to-end offense that the Quakers used to take their first lead of the game. What a great find at the doorstep. That's an ambitious pass, but you get that deep with that much of an unsettled situation afoot, you're probably going to end with a goal like this.
It was a great look, and Lully just gives one good fake to the goalie and finishes around him. I was a little fearful of Birkinshaw coming out of the cage on the other end, because he came 6-7 yards out of the cage and was out of the cage, and Penn State got the loose change, but they weren't able to finish. So excellent job on the defense to get a stop, and Penn gets their transition game going, which is going to be key.
Back to the X. Arceri for Penn State, Gallagher for Penn. Kyle Gallagher, after a slow start, has done well at the X, and once again, that's his second straight win. That's a solo effort, but he throws it past his intended wing target. And we have a whistle that says off of Penn State, so Penn, after all of that, ends up getting it. It felt, though, that Gallagher was a little bit rushed after getting the ball in his cross.
Yeah, I didn't like that decision. Obviously, he just wants to secure the win and get it to his wing, but he actually had the head start. He won it going forward, had the head start, and I would love to see him put a little more pressure on the Penn State defense by carrying it towards the restraining line. Very nifty play by Shipley over on the sideline. He's a freshman out of North Carolina. Got his first career goal at Duke last weekend.
How about that for a homecoming?
Yes.
So the Quakers stringing together offensive possessions, and The Nittany Lions are finding themselves on their heels. There's a shot up and in. Upper left 90. What a rip from Caleb Fernandez.
Fantastic feed, too, by Shipley. So nice goal and assist. Nice combination there. Fernandez, a sophomore out of Georgetown Prep. I thought it was Goldner because this is a classic Adam Goldner goal. You know, catch and rip to a corner.
Well, maybe you learned it from him. That is pinpoint placement there from Fernandez. And how about 4 straight goals for Penn? That timeout from Coach Murphy about 2 minutes in is looking better by the possession.
It's a well-timed timeout. I'd love to know what he's communicated to his team there.
He said, hey, just score 4 in a row and we'll be fine.
Think it was that simple?
Sometimes it just ends up being that, I guess.
That's right.
So Gallagher and Arceri, and it seems like as Penn continues to rack up the goals, every player gets this boost of confidence. Gallagher battling with Arceri right in the middle.
Yeah, and it's turning into a great battle at faceoff.
Gallagher did dig it out, and it's scooped up by the Penn wing, JoJo Biddle. And the Quakers, the number 6 team in the land, have another chance to extend their advantage.
Great GP, great hustle after a 50-50 ball. Comes up Penn.
Quakers continuing to start games strong. Again, they put up 8 against Maryland in the first quarter, and then they held Duke to just 1 goal in the first quarter down in North Carolina, winning that first frame 3-1.
Oh, mishandled. Pass was on the wrong side, and Lully didn't catch it. He's trying to hustle on the ride, but Penn State's going to get it cleared.
Sam Sweeney with the initial ground ball, and now the Nittany Lions catching a bit of a break. No shot on that possession, no real attempt either.
Yeah, you got to maximize your possessions.
Quakers have been getting a lot of shots.
50 per game,
yeah.
Arun. That's unheard of. Only like maybe the Syracuse teams that I played against in the late 80s that would do that kind of numbers.
You mean Gate squared?
Yes, sir.
Nearly a cause turnover.
And the precursor to them. That's a good call by the ref. B.J. Farrar knocked that out of bounds.
Lions retain, less than 40 to shoot. Here's Grant Ament quarterbacking this Penn State's offense. Getting the scoop pass back. Ament some space. His shot is wide to the left, but is backed up by his teammate Cole Willard. And with about 5.5 to go in the first, the Lions have 22 on the timer. Willard, oh, what a shot!
Wow.
Upper right, falling down. He got pushed. It didn't matter. It's 4-3. That is an amazing piece of effort there from Cole Willard.
Five to 3 Penn.
This first quarter is any indication, we'll be in for a fun one all afternoon long. And
watch Willard here. He's falling down, low to high. I mean, degree of difficulty, 10, right? Execution, 10.
At least.
Really terrific goal by Willard. He's a junior out of upstate New York, I believe.
Oh, he's used to this. Cazenovia is where he's from.
It's a great play, just a great individual effort. The defense wasn't bad. That's a smart play.
Yeah, there it is for Kyle Gallagher, who I must say, in the latter part of this first quarter, has been dominating Gerard Arceri.
He's been picking it up, which is great to see. He goosed it there to Matt McKillrick, who's a terrific short stick D-midi. And the Penn offensive team will.
Quakers didn't get much of anything last possession. They couldn't get into their offense. Deeper down this time. Goldner, quiet so far. You know he can explode back into the score sheet. That one is knocked away by a host of Penn State defenders. Goldner fighting for it. Ball high in the air, coming to the near side. But the Lions do come away with the ground ball, courtesy of Bobby Burns.
It's tough. They fed it to Kevat Postel, and he probably could have gotten a shot off right away, but he chose to do the hitch move and try and get a better angle, a little closer. And when he absorbed the contact, the ball came out of his stick. Penn State wins the possession.
Bit of a nervy clear there from the Lions, but they still get the ball to their offensive third. About 4 minutes to go in this first, and the Nittany Lions trying to tie things up after taking an early 2-goal lead. Penn State's second trip to the Philly area. They were at Villanova on the main line a couple of weeks ago. Picked up a big win over the Wildcats.
And they have a great team beating Maryland
they
last
do.
week.
It was a great victory.
Good defense. Oh, that might be a quick
one.
one.
Through his legs and home. What a shot by Jack Kelly.
Jack Kelly picking up the loose change on the crease and putting it at home.
You saw Patrick Birkinshaw, the Penn goalie, jump to try and get the ball on his cross. Couldn't control at that point. Incredibly vulnerable. Right here, Birkinshaw goes up.
Well, once he's out of the cage, yeah, he had it in his stick, but like you said, he couldn't control it. Jack Kelly knew what to do with it. Got ourselves a tie ball game.
We've had some swagged out goals so far on both sides.
Still 3.5 minutes left in the first quarter, 4-4. We might see 40 faceoffs today.
It's certainly looking like it. It's a new face-off man for Penn State, so Arceri is not in there. It is still Kyle Gallagher for Penn. And it looks like Jake Glatz, I should say, and Gallagher beats him pretty easily.
Yep, Jake Glatz, a junior out of Boys Latin. Getting a look after Gallagher had won three in a row, I believe, maybe 4 in a row.
Gallagher starting to win some of these, by himself, not needing the help of the wings. Confidence is getting back up there for Gallagher as Quakers try and snap a mini 2-goal run for Penn State. 6th straight year these two programs are meeting up in a caused turnover.
Great check.
Yes.
I think that was Nick Cardiel is marking Sean Lully.
Sweeney the beneficiary with the GB.
Nice backdoor.
And a shot and a goal, and the lead back to Penn State. Mac O'Keefe, the senior out of Syosset on Long Island, gives the Lions a 5-4 advantage.
Yeah, Mac O'Keefe makes a great cut and catches the Penn guy looking, goes backdoor on him. And once he gets that ball in that position, he knows what to do with it every time. I think goal scorer is his middle name. Mac O'Keefe putting it away.
He was walking a little gingerly after the goal. You can see him kind of limbering up. It is, again, very cold, and you can probably see by looking at the jerseys that the wind is picking up as well. But nonetheless, good effort there, and that's 3 straight goals for the number 2 team in the country.
Yep, hard to stay loose on days like today.
You don't say, as I stand up and try to move around up here in our wind tunnel press box at historic Franklin Field.
5-4 Penn State. What a game of runs it is.
Arceri back at X, and immediately a violation on the Penn State Fogo, and Gallagher continues to do his job for the Quakers.
It's like you got Bedard and Jack Schultz and Rob Shaw on offense, midfield, along with the attack.
Shane, that shot is well wide, should be backed up by his Quaker teammate Lully.
Yeah, good hustle. We'll see what happens here with the Cardiel versus Lully matchup again. Cardiel got the best of him on the last possession. Threw a great takeaway check on Sean.
Gergar up top for Bedard. Bedard driving left. That shot is wide to the right.
That's going to be backed up by Penn State. Penn State ball. I mean, it's not a bad shot, but it's not really a high percentage shot. And if you're not going to get it on cage, you got to know you got to back up.
And the Lions have had a couple of good defensive possessions in the later part of this first quarter. The goals have run a bit dry for Penn as we wind down under 2 minutes in the first stanza. This is the second year in a row that the Quakers are starting their season. Maryland, Duke, Penn State. Last year they were swept by the 3. This year, 1-1 thus far.
Yeah, when they announced that schedule last year, I said, you know, if we can go 1-2, it's okay. If we can go 2-1, it'd be great. 3-0 would be, you know, probably make you number 1 team in the country.
Yep.
So far, 1-1, as you said, and we'll see what happens today. That's a tough pass just over the stick of the long stick midi.
Birkinshaw with a solo effort to try and get it to Peter Blake. But instead, it quickly goes back to Penn State.
Peter Blake's a freshman, I believe. Long stick midi for
Indeed he is.
For Penn.
Coming out of Needham, Massachusetts. So the timer and the game clock are identical. So if Penn State wanted to, it could wind down the entire thing.
You don't see that too often.
No, you don't, especially not with a team like this one.
They should be patient.
Looked like an opening on the doorstep, but instead the Lions go backward. There's a tough shoveling shot from the side by Kevin Hill. Yeah,
that was a tough shot. If I'm the coach, offensive coordinator for Penn State, I'm not liking that. There was still over 30 seconds left in the half, or the quarter, I mean.
A chance for the Quakers to get back up the field and try and tie this thing up.
Penn State's been riding very well. They rode the ball back a few times against Yale last weekend. That's a great long look into the corner for Sean Lully.
Lully, plenty of space. There's a shot, just misses upper left. 9 seconds left in the first, and Gagar backs it up for Penn, but we have a whistle.
Yeah, Adam Goldner was good 14 yards out there, but he can sting a corner from there.
There's a Penn State player limping at the moment. That's Braden Peck, who was down earlier. It looks like that same knee as well that, as you can see, was wrapped up in the interim. Now it's a little more ginger of a walk than before because he was jogging off earlier. So hopefully Peck is okay, but...
Ball's in the corner with Dylan Gagar, and there's 9 seconds left. Let's see if he can shake and bake and get free to either get a shot or make a pass to a cutting Penn attackman. 5
seconds left. Gagar trying to get in front of the cage. Pass to the middle is deflected, and that should do it for the first 15. An excellent first quarter here at Franklin Field. A 2-0 Penn State start. University City, the number 6 Quakers trailed the number 2 Nittany Lions 5-4. Really exciting first quarter. Hoping for more of the same in the second with Jersey Joe Gillette. Varun Raghupathy here with you. High above Franklin Field. A little bit of snow.
Yep, got some flurries out there. And it has been very exciting, and we're hoping for more of the same, as most of the fans are, but I think the D coordinators are hoping for a lower scoring second quarter.
To the X, it's Gallagher for Penn and Arceri for Penn State. Gallagher rips the ball out of there, and his wing helps him out, but that pass backward gets picked off, and Penn State in good position to start the second.
Great steal by O'Keefe. McKillrick's got to be a little more careful with the ball there.
I will say, though, Kyle Gallagher has come to play today.
Oh, it's a great face-off win, but, you know, you ruin it when you throw it away.
Gallagher really dominating the X in the first, to the point where Arceri actually was subbed out for a face-off. Gallagher made quick work of his replacement. Arceri's been back ever since.
Yep. Trainer does it again.
Another goal for Penn State. That's 4 in a row to make it 6-4. And the Nittany Lions take a costly Penn turnover and turn it into a 2-goal advantage.
Well, they like inverting Jack Trainer and letting him dodge from behind. That's the second time he's gotten topside on the Penn defender and scored.
Trainer, a sophomore out of Downingtown, PA, went to Malvern Prep. There are a lot of Penn State people here, and that's because a large number of this roster hails from this area.
As does a lot of Penn's roster as well.
So a good crowd in general, if you can.
Braving the elements.
Yeah, imagine where our camera shot is. If you were just to pan up a little bit, you'd see the middle 5 sections all completely full on this chilly winter day. Gallagher
won that one cleanly, and this time they take care of the rock, and Penn should have a good possession here.
Quakers
they need to work for a good shot.
Yep, Quakers getting ample opportunities to score courtesy of their Fogo, Kyle Gallagher. And other than a 4-0 run in the first quarter, they have been stymied by Penn State.
I like the ball movement.
There's a low shot,
good
hit
save.
off the pipe, and yes, there was contact as well from Knies, and Penn State gets another stop. Here they are in transition to the right.
Great looks on the clear. Ament will slow it down, though.
This is the second top 10 matchup for Penn State. They lost to Yale by a couple of goals. The Eli's, of course, have been in the last 2 NCAA title games, winning 2 years ago, losing to Virginia. And the Penn goalie was on that Virginia team. Of course, Patrick Birkinshaw now with the Quakers. Here's Grant Ament.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're a college lacrosse fan, you got to be excited about all the parity and all the talent throughout the land. Princeton beating UVA last weekend.
Seems like every year it gets more and more.
I would agree.
Spread out the talent pool, shall we say. And I think one of the big moments was when Denver became the first team west of the Mississippi to win the national title. That was about 5 years ago or so, and you could sense that things were, well, it's not just all about Johns Hopkins and Syracuse and Duke anymore.
Exactly. Penn State went right back to Traynor dodging from behind.
That is a brave block by a Quaker. That looked like Piper Bond, who got in the way of that Grant Ament shot, but a flag stops the proceedings as Ament is down on the turf.
I think it was Kyle Thornton hit him late after the shot, and he's going to serve a minute penalty for that. Let's see it on the replay.
That's going to leave a welt tomorrow.
Wasn't very late, but I think he got him up high was the problem with that hit.
So
you can't come in with the hands up towards the head, or they're going to call it on you every time.
Yep.
Kyle Thornton knows that. He's a senior captain out of Garden City, went to Chaminade.
An extra man opportunity for Penn State, and this category hurt Penn, I should say, against Maryland. The Terps were 3 for 3 on extra man opportunities, including 2 for 2 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it was a big part of Maryland, the swing of momentum to the Terps in that game. Can't commit penalties, especially not in the fourth quarter. Let's see what the man down D can do here. See if they can get a stop against a very potent offense.
Shot is high from Mac O'Keefe, who has already scored for Penn State, backed up by the Nittany Lions.
It's a good look.
Ament to the middle. There's a turning shot, and it's blocked by one of the defenders, B.J. Farrar.
Watch B.J. go. Surprised he gave it up.
Yeah, he had open lane down the middle there.
He can fly.
Nonetheless, a good man-down stop there for Penn.
Absolutely, they'll take it.
3 minutes or so gone by in this second. A 2-goal advantage for Penn State. They've scored the only goal of this second.
All even now, I believe. Or are we still waiting for the sixth player to come on?
It looks like we're just about set. I think it's going to be released, or it has been. And then Lully was handling. Now it's to X.
I think we're still 5 on 6. Yeah, we are. Now we're all even.
The penalty released. Even player comes on. In front shot and a stop.
Got to put that one away.
Yeah, Colby Canese getting a chance to make a stop on a point-blank attempt.
By Drew Robshaw.
Yeah, the senior from Mendham probably wants that one back.
Nice to see him cracking the lineup as a senior, though. Put a lot of work in.
There's a weaving solo clear attempt from Sweeney, and the Lions maintain through some heavy traffic. Burns.
Oh, he's got an angle.
Yeah.
Good hustle by JoJo Biddle there.
Biddle catching up, and with 45 on the timer, Penn State regroups.
Bobby Burns, the short stick D-midi for Penn State, was thinking about a crease dive there, but JoJo Biddle actually had a good angle and was able to hustle back in time.
Nate Buller. Now wide to Willard, who had an amazing goal in the first quarter, got pushed.
Yes, he did. He's thinking about it again.
He's like, if you push me, I'm going to shoot again.
I shoot best when I'm falling down backwards away from the cage.
Yeah. Here's Ament. Looking for space somewhere in front. 6 to shoot. Penn State's got a boogie. Pass across the way goes to nobody in particular, and that should wind down the timer.
That may have been what he was just trying to do. He figured he couldn't get a good shot, just throw it to the corner.
Giving Penn State a chance to get back and start its ride. Good split right there on the clear from Piper Bond. And the Quakers are back to it, looking for their first goal of this second quarter.
Piper Bond has been terrific since he got here on campus last year as a freshman.
Sophomore out of Baltimore, went to the Gilman School. One of many.
I believe the whole Gilman team is over there. I saw them when I was coming into the stadium. Yep.
Only about an hour and a half drive up, if that.
That's a good look by Postel. Good save by Canese.
And in front, the ground ball picked up by Canese's teammate. That's Grant Haas, backing up his goalie nicely. So the Penn State offense has gone a bit cold. This is a team that certainly has seen a couple of goal droughts early in this season, but as we know, they can rip off a few really quickly, especially when their Fogo Kyle Gallagher is in the form he's currently in right now.
Yeah, I don't think any lead is safe today because both teams have such explosive offenses, and they have Fogos that have the ability to get hot.
Here's Ament. Pushed back by Ferrer. Ament behind the cage at X.
Good defense so far.
That's a shot,
great goal.
And it does just squeeze in.
Wow, he beat him near pipe, it looked like.
Yeah, he did. Grant Ament with a side slotting shot, and it's the largest lead for either team, 7-4 in favor of Penn State. Wasn't even looking when that thing left his cross.
Yeah, I think he's practiced that a couple of times.
Oh, yeah.
BJ played perfect defense. Not going to pin it on Birkinshaw, but you'd like your goalie to make some of those saves. His save percentage has got to come up. I mean, right now, I don't know what it is in this game, but I think it was 36% across the first two games. And that's, it's just got to get better. And part of that is communicating better with your defense, and part of that is just, being able to be on that, see that ball coming off the stick and step to the ball.
Well, the coaching staff can be happy in knowing that Kyle Gallagher is doing his work quite well.
Oh, absolutely. It's funny how sometimes you win the face-off battle and you're still losing the game.
A turning shot and a goal, and a needed score for Penn, courtesy of Dylan Gergar. About 7 minutes into the second quarter, and the Quakers break a goal drought of right around 11 or 12 minutes to bring them within 2.
Here's Dylan Gergar. He does a nice spin back. He hides his stick, so Knies had no idea where he was going to release it from or where he was going with it. And it's just hard to pick up probably a 95-mile-per-hour shot from that distance.
Yeah, we were talking during the break. It seems like every year the athletes get better and they get stronger, and therefore their shots get tougher to stop. And so some of the best in D1 are shooting right around, if not above, 100 miles per hour.
Absolutely.
And even a little bit below that is
absolutely
nearly impossible to see, let alone stop.
Well, in the game of lacrosse, the kids are playing at younger and younger ages. YouTube, I got my 11-year-old Leo here with me today. He's watching how guys do it on the internet and then going in the backyard and practicing from the time he's a little kid,
Yep.
I think it does lend to guys developing their skills a little faster than back in the day.
No question. So when as a battle occurs well behind the cage going the other way.
Great job by Penn State.
Yeah, they get the ball back. When you were playing in the late 80s, the best shooters, were they getting up near 100 miles per hour? Was it a little bit?
They were. I would say average speed has probably gone up by a good 10 miles an hour.
Wow.
The sticks have gotten better, too.
Yeah.
I would dare to say the guys aren't any stronger than they were back in the day, though.
I think it's a context, the resources and all that stuff. But yeah, making a good point there. And it makes you wonder, if those players played today with all available to those players.
It's the same thing, same argument golfers have, right?
Yeah.
Guys who golfed back in the day with lesser equipment. Yeah. I could have hit the ball 352 if I had that driver.
Or if I had John Daly's diet.
Yeah.
So the Quakers get a stop and the ball back, looking to string together a pair of goals.
Yeah, so it's a big goal by Gergar to stop the momentum that Penn State had, and that's really what it boils down to, either a hustle play or a defensive stop or a great save or a goal. You got to do something to stop the mojo on the other team when they scored 3 or 4 in a row, as Penn State had.
Gergar getting it back into the box, which it isn't called anymore, and here he goes into the doorstep. Oh, that's off the pipe. It's rebounded by Lully. His shot doesn't quite get to the goalie. The third attempt is saved by Knies.
See, now that's a momentum shift back to the Nittany Lions. Penn gets 3 shot opportunities there and doesn't can any of them.
Pretty good looks as well.
I don't know what happened to Lully's shot. I think it got blocked by one of the defender's sticks. Postel picked it up, but Knies could see it all the way, made a great save.
Coming up on 6 minutes to go in the half. Penn State with a 2-goal advantage. It's been close throughout. very chilly late February day here in Philadelphia. Right side shot and a save there from Birkinshaw.
It's a good outlet. We want to get BJ out there. Have a look. You got Kivat.
Postel to the side. There's a shot that's wide. The angle wasn't quite there for Gergar, but it is backed up by Goldner.
You see how Penn gets into early offense, though, so well? I mean, they're really looking for a quick shot when they can get it.
Yeah, not afraid to try those, more ambitious, if you will, passes, getting it close to cage, and especially with the defense not quite set up, that leads to good chances.
Yeah, and Gergar shot that one knowing that, he's either going to get it on piping in on the back pipe or it's going to be backed up. So it's not a bad shot to take.
That one stonewalled away. Here's another shot, and that one hit the crossbar.
He's got a gun.
Yeah.
He has got a gun.
That's 2 attempts there for Penn. One, I think, was saved by Knies. The other hit off of the woodwork, and either way, the red and blue comes away empty-handed.
Brian Towson gets a clear for Penn State as they get their offensive personnel on.
So the Nittany Lions a 2-1 lead in this second quarter. They scored the game's first 2 goals, and we're down for a little bit in the first, but their lead is here. Wow. Oh, what a stop by Birkinshaw. Ament was point blank, and he never misses those.
Well, that's terrific. Maybe that'll get Birkinshaw going. He's made a couple nice saves now.
He absolutely has. Was just thinking the same. The Virginia transfer. And there's a misconnection there, and it's scooped up. Oh, what a play there by the Penn defender.
But it bounced our way to Biddle. He's off and running. They got numbers. Goldner.
Oh, upper right 90 and home. 7-6 Penn State. That was a bullet.
We've seen that before. Adam Goldner.
I was just thinking
in the corners.
We haven't called his name that much, but
no, we
certainly
haven't.
Did there.
Yes. I love him on the point because he's a good feeder, but he's a great shooter.
No wasted motion there.
Nope. Catch and shoot. Great feed by the long pole. JoJo Biddle getting out in transition. Good, a 7-6 ball game.
And goal.
After it was in Goldner's cross, could barely see it.
That was probably 100 miles an hour, too. What a great goal scorer, a testament to Goldner in his 4-year career here. 100 goals. It's something to get 100 points in your career. When you get 100 goals, you're really a special player.
And he certainly is. He was kept under wraps for the most part in the early part of this game, but maybe that will get him going. And again, a story, a big one. Kyle Gallagher has been phenomenal at X. That was another one against Jake Glatz. Yep. So Gerard Arceri has not been at X a couple of times, but both times it's been a Penn win.
I just hope with so many faceoffs in this game they don't wear Gallagher out. I hope he's as effective in the fourth quarter as he is in the first and second.
It's a great point. We know Arceri can get hot. Quakers still need one more to tie. Down low, and a doorstep shot gets knocked away by Knies. That was a good chance there for Penn.
Yes, it was. Credit Knies, a great save. Going low.
And with about 3.5 to go in the second, Penn State nursing a 1-goal lead. Both teams have scored twice here in this second quarter.
They're offsides. Penn State offsides. The ball goes back to Penn, and we have a fast break. Gergar getting behind his defender. What a save by Knies.
And it looked like Gergar's shot was a little bit altered by the defender coming in from behind.
Yes.
Not much sauce on it, but nonetheless.
That was still a great save by Knies.
Without question. He
was right on the doorstep. Well, I like Penn just presses and looks for that early offense, and if they can cash in on a few more of these opportunities, they'd be in the lead right now. But Penn State credit their hustle. As you said, the defender getting back there and getting a check on Gergar as he tried to get off the shot, and Knies making a great save.
This has been evenly matched in the sense of the skill has been there, but also a little bit of sloppiness here and there from both teams.
It's February.
Yeah, no question. Also very chilly.
Yep.
Here's Ament. Crossfield pass, low to high. Oh, and it's blocked before it gets to the cage.
Good eat, as they say, by McElreck.
Yes.
That was a good look there.
Ament trying to get the angle, and he scores low past Birkinshaw.
Got to put a body on him if you're Penn defender there.
The redshirt senior from Doylestown exercising patience and then finding the opening.
Vanchek just kind of overran it. He just took the wrong angle. I didn't see, I thought the slide went for the stick, but there was no slide there. Vanchek just took the wrong angle, and Ament is going to finish 90% of the time from there when he can stand, take a look, and hit his spot.
Pair of goals for number 1 in blue, 9 this season for Grant Ament. And with 2:24 to go in the first half, it's back to a 2-goal Penn State lead. Number 2 team in the country. Penn comes in at number 6.
As soon as you think the momentum's really in the favor of one of the other team, then the other one scores. Here's Arceri getting a nice face-off win and a bouncer that goes off the back pipe.
Backed up by Penn State.
Dylan Folds.
Redshirt senior out of British Columbia, starting it back up for the Nittany Lions. The Quakers trying to win a second straight game over a ranked opponent. They have 23 wins against ranked teams in the Mike Murphy era. That's in its 11th season.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Also a testament to Murphy. Always tries to schedule the toughest schedule in the country, and he usually the strength of schedule for Penn is usually ranked in the top 3 or 4.
Certainly helps that the Ivy League continues to be deep. There's a save for Birkinshaw. A big rip from far by O'Keefe, but Birkinshaw wise to it.
Yep, he was up to the task on that one.
But yes, even with the Ivy League being good and deep with teams like Yale, Princeton, and Brown, it's definitely great to see Coach Murphy, a Duke alum himself, getting the Dukes of the world on the schedule.
Yeah, well, the out-of-conference schedule is chock full of tremendous talent. Next Friday it'll be Villanova here.
It's great to have it be local as well. Certainly helps in terms of travel for the players as they go through their second semester of the school year.
Yeah, when you talk about the strength of the Ivy League,
there's a shot that's just wide.
There's an argument to be made, Arun, that the Ivy League is the best conference in the country this year.
Yeah.
I think typically it's ACC or Big Ten. The last couple of years, that's been the big debate. But this year, I think you can make a strong argument that the Ivies are the toughest.
Mix of ranking during the season, postseason success as well. Number of teams that are really, really good. And
Cornell's terrific this year. Harvard's improved. Dartmouth's improved. And then obviously Yale, Penn, and Princeton and Cornell kind of leading the way. And Brown not too far behind.
Timeout taken by Penn State. We'll keep it right here with the score 8-6. The Nittany Lions with 28 seconds left in the second want to draw something up.
Yeah, try and make the most of the final 28 seconds.
And if you're Coach Murphy in this huddle right now, what are you telling Penn?
Well, just keep your cool and stick to the fundamentals. You know, you don't want to try anything too crazy.
Quakers and the Nittany Lions playing in a very exciting game. Not quite as much scoring in the second quarter as the first, but certainly has been the kind of game we expected when two top 6 teams get together.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close all the way. Penn State had a 7-4 lead there, and then Penn got a couple of goals, and now the last goal by Penn State gives them the 2-goal advantage. You know, I think either one of these teams could score 20 goals in a game, but against Penn State's defense, it's a tall order, so I really hope that the lower scoring continues for Penn, because, getting a 3 or 4 goal run is possible, but a 5 or 6 goal run, against that Penn State D is not likely to happen. So they need to keep it close.
They really do. You saw the shot of our great crowd on hand on the other side of the broadcast location.
Pretty impressive given the elements and the temperature out there.
Oh, yeah. Definitely a frozen toes kind of day.
I see a lot of hats and gloves and scarves and even blankets over there.
All very much necessary. And by the way, before we head off to halftime after this possession, we've got a special guest at the end of halftime.
That's right. I bumped into an old teammate and dear friend, Ron Smolikoff, is going to join us to maybe kick off the third quarter.
We will hear from him after we cover the first half statistics. Good to have Ron coming up to the booth. But in the meantime, Penn State will search for its second 3-goal lead as we head into halftime. 28 seconds on the second quarter clock.
No need to go for the takeaway, Chuck. Just stay fundamentally sound. Try not to give up anything easy.
Amen. A little below goal line extended. Now to X.
Boy, Penn State with 4 guys on the crease just picking for each other. There's Amen having a look.
6 seconds. That pass bounces off a
Great
teammate.
job. Great job by the defense.
Down to 2 seconds, and the Quaker defense does its job, getting the stop and keeping the advantage at 2 for Penn State. So a really exciting first half hour of lacrosse. The number 2 Nittany Lions with an 8-6 lead over the number 6 Quakers. We will be back with stats, and we'll look ahead to the second half with Ron Smolikoff. That's coming up at halftime here from Philly. A 2-goal lead and a great top 10 matchup here in a D1 game, the home opener for the Red and Blue.
2-goal differential, but by the stats, it looks like it might be a tie game.
Yeah. So Penn State winning after one quarter, 5-4, and then getting 3 goals to Penn's 2 in the second. In the second half, do you expect to see more fireworks or a little bit of a more grinded-out affair?
Well, I think, it was a surprisingly clean game in terms of, a lot of hustle out there, but I didn't notice any chippiness. I'd love to see a little more physicality on the defensive end for Penn and just get on the bodies a little bit more. Put a couple guys on the ground, make them think twice about coming into the crease area. But, look, it's going to be a great battle right down to the end. You can tell that for sure.
And we have definitely heaped praise on Kyle Gallagher, the Penn State face-off specialist.
What a surprise today.
Oh, yeah. Him against Gerard Arcieri. Probably one a little bit different than we might have expected, but if Gallagher continues to keep up his good work, the Quakers should have opportunities to get back into this thing. Gallagher almost wins the face-off.
Yeah, he had it. Got
bopped.
Checked. Yeah, he got bopped all right. There's some physicality from the Penn State side.
So Arcieri, maybe a little frustration there. He hasn't been doing as well as he usually does. Wins 70% of face-offs against Penn, and that time he's like, you know what?
A lot of times you lose the draw, but you still win the possession. It's just as good, sometimes better for the mentality of the team. Never quit on the ball.
So the Nittany Lions have had a 3-goal advantage. It was at 7-4, but that's the farthest apart these two teams have been in this very close game. Oh, nice pass to the doorstep, and Amen almost quickly got it home.
Good
That's
save.
a Birkinshaw stop to begin the second half. And
see if McIlrick can get it out of trouble.
Penn trying to clear and seemingly doing so. That's a good start for the Quakers.
Yep, good stop. Don't lose it.
Dylan Gergar played a big role in the successful part of Penn's first half. He had the first goal for the Quakers. And playing its 3rd straight top 10 opponent. Lost to Maryland to begin the season. Just beat Duke in Charlotte last week. This is
a little neutral site in Charlotte, North Carolina. Figured neutral would be more like Baltimore.
Right? It said North Carolina.
Yeah.
Neutral. Okay.
Neutral for Duke.
To exit, over the head of Gergar. That pass from Ben Bedard, a little too heavy.
Yeah, it's a 30-yard pass. I'd rather see you carry it a couple yards back and make it a 25-yard pass and be sure of it.
There's Bobby Burns, triple team.
Good ride to get it back. Goldner's got it.
Just scored his 100th career Penn goal, did Adam Goldner. It was quiet otherwise, but plenty of time in this game for him to put his imprint on it. 2 minutes gone by in the third, and still a 2-goal lead for the number 2 team in the land.
Well, I think part of that is teams are wise to the greatness of Adam Goldner now, and they tend to not leave him alone anymore.
And that should open things up for the teammates. There's a shot, and it's stopped by Kenise.
Yep, shot by Rob Shaw, I believe.
Yep, and a stop there for Penn State.
Lully's so strong. Just checked it out.
Chance to make it a 1-goal game. He missed high and wide. Oh, that's another opportunity for Penn. They've had a couple that they're going to want back, and you can see Lully frustrated with himself.
Yep, got to cash in on those. But what a great ride. And they still have possession. They backed up the shot, so see what they can do with it.
Jersey, you're right on it. You were saying the physicality might get upped, and we've seen that certainly from both sides.
From both sides, yeah. The body checks have increased. Lully really just with a 2-hand shove to the shoulder knocked the ball out of his stick because it was such a strong check.
Mm-hmm. Quakers went on a 4-0 run in the first quarter. They led 4-2 at that point, but from there it's been Penn State getting more of the opportunities. That shot goes wide, an attempt from Shipley, freshman from North Carolina.
No, we haven't seen much of Mitch Bartolo, if any at all. I wonder if he's injured or sick, or if he's just not in the lineup today.
Postel, one more. There's a shot. It bounces off of Knies. I think it hit off his shoulder and went in.
Great ball movement.
You saw the net ripple, and I believe that's Gagar that got the goal to go. 8-7.
Postel on the assist, but the Quakers really had the ball moving around the offense there. You see Schultz gets it up top to Postel.
It
Boom.
did hit off his shoulder.
Yeah, good eye.
Thank you. I was like half expecting a save, and then you saw the net start to ripple. You're like, okay.
Sometimes it bounces off the goalie and in.
That's a great start to this third quarter for Penn. They are back within one. 8-7, a little more than 3 minutes gone by in the third. This has been close throughout. If the recent matchups have been any indication, that was going to be the case. 2 of the 3 Penn State wins that they've had in a row against Penn were by just 1 goal.
Indeed.
Face-off victory for the Nittany Lions.
Look at them, they're not quitting on it. Great hustle play by Penn.
And Baker gets ridden out of play and turns it over. So a chance for the red and blue to tie things up here.
I would say that was a cause turnover. Penn, great hustle. Where they lost, again, you lose the draw, but you don't lose possession necessarily if you can fight and get it back. And you saw the bench. It really charges up the bench when you make plays like that.
The wing physicality. How to get everybody involved. Postella low shot just wide to the right, backed up though by Gagar.
Good hard rip.
And Dylan Gagar, the sophomore. More than a minute to shoot. Plenty of time for Penn to get back to work.
Gagar's become the quarterback of this offense.
Certainly has. There's a shot, and it's off of Knies, high in the air. He's not sure where it is, but
I think it was off his face mask,
yeah,
right?
that thing went a long way afterward. Postella
went all the way out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
Shots are coming in hot on a cold day.
That's right.
Fernandez had a goal in the first half for Penn.
Good recovery. Excellent defense by the short stick D midi.
And the shot clock, of course, reset, so plenty of time for Penn. Dodging down right alley, Rob Shaw, and that.
I like that
goes
shot.
wide.
He's right at the back pipe, just missed. Wide.
We know the Quakers are going to get their shots in. They're going to put a lot of them on target as well.
Uh-oh.
Mishandle. Amidst a pile. Fernandez trying to dig it out for the red and blue. Instead, it comes clean to the Nittany Lions. And here comes Nate Buller for Penn State. And Grant Amon, you can see quarterback saying, "Oh, slow it down."
Absolutely. Let's make sure we take care of the ball and get a good possession. Hopefully work for a good shot. As Penn State gets their midfielders on.
This is a Nittany Lions team that comes in at 3-1. Wins over Lafayette, Villanova, St. Joe's. The only loss to a Yale team that is finding itself getting clapped by UMass at the moment.
Yeah, surprising score at halftime, 11-2 UMass.
From the point, doorstep feed.
Oh,
wow, that's gorgeous pinballing lacrosse from Penn State.
You said it, Arun. You said it. Just absolutely gorgeous.
And that's Dylan Folds, the beneficiary. One-touch play.
Tic-tac-toe.
Man.
Let's see it on the replay.
This pass right here, this is the dangerous one from Willard.
Great skip pass, and then O'Keefe just like a nice little soft pass to Dylan Folds on the crease. Easy finish for Folds.
Nicely done there from the Nittany Lions, ranked number 2 in the country.
See, on that one, I would love to see Willard get a hockey assist.
Yeah.
Like you said, that was just a great skip pass to O'Keefe. Really created that opportunity.
Yeah, without question. We're in the era of advanced statistics. There are definitely outlets that will cover statistics like that, although that's not quite as advanced as some of the other ones. But
right.
Certainly in the box score would reflect that Willard was the catalyst.
Absolutely, the creator.
Quakers do well to get a face-off victory out of the conceded goal, and that was Bedard getting things going. Here's Biddle for Goldner, and down a little bit for Gagar. Quakers getting the correct personnel out there. Seen some snow flurries, good bit of sun, nonetheless a chilly day here in Philadelphia.
Schultz, he's a junior now. He actually played on the extra man offense as a freshman. That's number 6, Jack Schultz. He didn't see much time last year, but he's getting a lot of run now as a junior, which is nice to see.
Pass deflected to X, fortuitous bounce for Penn into Goldner's cross, and still a chance for the Quakers with 40 on the timer. Gergar, lefty crank, and it is stopped on the bounce by Knies.
Penn State defender got on his hands. He didn't get any heat on that shot. So easy save for Knies.
Cardle. And now Ament. Coming up on 8.5 to go in the third. And Penn State, which led by 2 at halftime, has kept Penn just at arm's length throughout most of this one.
Yep. And we mentioned Gergar being quarterback of the Penn offense. No question about who the quarterback of the Penn State offense is. Grant Ament, number 1. Pretty much everything runs through him.
Hometown kid, played at the Haverford School. Lot of Penn State support here, as you might imagine. Of course, both teams with great support. Good crowd on a chilly day.
Got a van check doing a good job there on Ament. There's McKilrick on Jack Trainer, who seems to be a great dodger, and there he shows it.
Trainer to the doorstep,
he
looking
might
for
have
his
touched
second
the crease.
goal.
In the crease, Penn ball. Yep.
Quakers with a stop, and they'll clear left to right.
Looks like Birkinshaw may have been hit there.
What do you make of Birkinshaw's performance in cage to this point?
Well, first quarter seemed like more of the sort of average performance of the first 2 games of the season, but in the second quarter he really picked things up and made some great saves. So
we have talked about Alex DeMarco waiting in the wings for Penn as the backup goalie, but we haven't seen him yet this year.
No, and I don't think you'll see him unless Birkinshaw, just doesn't get the job done. But, at 1-1 against 2 top 10 teams, you're probably not looking to make a goalie change. But as I said earlier, the save percentage does need to come up.
Goldner shot right into Knies' cross.
Yeah, it's not where he wanted to put it. But you're right, Alex DeMarco, number 10, is the backup goalie, and it's a tough spot for him. He sat behind 4-year starter Reed Junkin his freshman, sophomore, and junior years, and now he's a senior, and all of a sudden the transfer from UVA comes in and takes the spot that he has kind of earned. But, obviously it's an open competition. You're going to put the best guy in the spot.
Certainly a lot of season left. This Penn team last year lost to these 3 opponents, Maryland, Duke, Penn State, then ripped off 12 wins in a row, including going 8-0 in Ivy League play up until a loss to Yale in the quarters during the NCAA tournament.
The only other time that was done was when Ronnie and I did it with the 84 teammates of ours.
Good to have Ron on the broadcast as well.
That's a nice check right there.
Well
That's
done
going to be
by
Penn ball. There's
yeah.
the physicality you want. And look at how it charges up the fans.
Yeah, without question. You can hear them left side of the stands here at Franklin Field. The middle 4 or 5 sections in the lower bowl are completely full. As the Quakers try to get it to a one-goal
I think the Penn
game.
team heard me asking them to be more physical.
Yeah, both teams definitely did.
It's good to see, though. Both teams want this one badly.
No question. Penn State, 3 wins, 1 against a ranked Villanova team, but if you're Penn and you can get to 2-1 after these first 3 games, especially after going 0-3 against this batch of opponents last year,
yep,
that would do a world of good because we know how good they are in Ivy League play.
Yeah, what they did last year was special. Go 6-0 in the league. Very, very difficult to do.
Then win the Ivy tournament.
Yeah.
NCAA
That was
victory.
amazing. They beat Yale 2 or 3 times last year.
Yeah.
Not too many people can say they've done that.
Here's Gergar at X.
And their loss was an epic game, that
Yeah.
19-18 quarterfinal.
Amazing stuff. That was after beating Army to get a tournament win.
Yep. That's when Murph became the most winningest coach in Penn's history.
Feet in front. There's a goal.
Nice look. That was special.
And it's Schultz who finishes it off, but great individual effort to get the ball in front of cage. And with about 5 minutes to go in the third, the Quakers are back within 1. How about that work from Sean Lully?
Lully knocked to the ground, slides, and gets up as makes the feed for the goal.
So the Quakers not going anywhere. This is a top 10 matchup, living up to the billing. 9-8 Penn State. Back with more after this from Philly. Varun Raghupathy here with you, 5:09 to go in the third quarter, and as you mentioned coming out of the halftime break, there's more physicality.
Yeah, from both sides, as you mentioned, and particularly the Penn side, though. They've made some great hustle plays and caused, I'd say, 3 turnovers in the first 10 minutes of that third quarter, just with physical hits. And that really charges up the bench and the fans and helps you kind of stay in the game and get the momentum swinging in your favor.
Well, with a large number of goals, as you've mentioned, comes a lot of face-offs, and Kyle Gallagher has really been doing yeoman's work at the X. This time, Arceri seems to get the better of it, but the ball's in the air, still 50-50, and the Quakers have the face-off victory courtesy of Ben Bedard. Good stuff again from Penn to get possession.
Yeah, give credit to JoJo Biddle for the check on Grant Amen as he was going to get the loose ball, but the check came down right as it came into Grant Amen's cross. And Ben Bedard were able to pick up the loose change. Here comes Kyle Thornton.
Oh, he bounces it in.
Hello.
When you go that far, you might as well finish it off. And Thornton knots it up. It's the first time this game has been tied since it was 4-4 in the first.
You got to love it. The senior captain out of Garden City goes end to end with the high bouncer.
Those are
tickling the twine.
Other than the goalie coming out of the cage, to have a long pole cover most of the field, and then you can see his thought process. He looks around and says, you know what, this is mine.
This is mine, I'm going for it. And he probably wouldn't do that as a freshman or a sophomore, but as a senior captain, he's doing it.
That is a big, big score to knot things up at 9.
9-9.
The Quakers looking for their first lead since they led 4-2 on the back of a 4-0 run in the first. And here's Gallagher squirting the ball free, and he quickly gets it to Goldner. Well done by Gallagher again. He has been arguably the Quaker MVP this game.
He certainly is earning his keeps there.
Here comes Gergar.
I liked his play on that one too. He got it to Goldner, who can do some damage as an assist man as well as a goal scorer.
Gergar gets it checked out of his cross from behind. A spinning GB, though, by his teammate Shipley, and Penn still with it. Yeah, 2 double teams that got the ball on the ground twice by Penn State, but they were unable to come up with the turnover. Schultz stepped in. Get some space in the post, but did step in the crease. And now almost a quick clear attempt, and it's bobbled by Penn State. And just like that, Lully has it for Penn, and a chance for the Quakers to get to double digits first. See what happens. Kind of exciting game here. It's picking up. The energy's picking up on both sides. No question. We had, wouldn't say a lull in the second quarter, but it was definitely not as high energy as the first. Right. Rob Shaw, great look. Bounce. Oh, it's a nice save. Canice with it. Lully, what a pass. Oh, with a goal, and Schultz gives Penn the lead. Schultz. Heads up from Sean Lully. Getting the rebound and immediately putting it in front of Cage, and then from there, Schultz did the rest. Well, it was great offense, and then just heads-up instinctive plays here at the end. Lully with a great look to Schultz, who turns and goes low to high. Wow. And just like that, the Quakers on a 3-0 spurt to get a 10-9 advantage, their first lead since the first quarter. Well, that's what happens when you play great offense. Eventually, you start cashing in on those opportunities and get a little run going. You can see the effect of the ride. Yes. The inability of Penn State to clear cleanly. And again, that's part of how Penn beat Duke. 7 times Duke failed to clear, and now Penn State has decided to talk things over. Yeah, and you see the energy on the Penn side. They're jumping up and down. Very excited. All right, 3:23 to go in the third, and this game has played out the way we imagined, certainly. The energy and the goals are picking up in this third quarter, so what is Penn State discussing as Penn also regroups? Well, I think they're saying, listen, when we made a couple great hustle plays, double teams on the defensive end, got the ball on the ground, we got to get those ground balls. And then when we do get possession on the defensive end, we got to take care of the rock and get it cleared. Too many times in this third quarter, Penn State has permitted Penn to win the hustle plays and maintain possession. There's a look at the crowd, bundled up, but loud and certainly here in full force. That's the lower bowl on the opposite side of our broadcast location here at Franklin Field.
These two teams, I could see these two teams meeting up in the postseason.
Oh, yeah.
Little NCAA tournament action. So this could be a precursor to a much bigger game in May.
No question. And that's the one of the more fascinating aspects of programs starting to rise. Penn State in the last 10, 15 years has really come on strong, and it starts by being successful in the regular season, being ranked, winning your conference, and then the next step is, can you consistently make it to championship weekend, which this year is in Philly at the Link.
That's right. I'm sure I'll be there because every time it's in the Link, I make it there.
Absolutely.
bring the whole family down, make it a great weekend.
And that's one of those things where, like Yale the last 2 years, they've been in the championship game.
Yes.
You just have this extra level of cachet to you as a program
Yes.
when you come to town.
It becomes an expectation, right? And I think both of these programs, Penn and Penn State, are at that level now where, they expect to win their conference. They expect to get to the dance. They expect to get to Final Four. And Penn hasn't broken through, but obviously Penn State did last year, and I think Penn was very close, as we mentioned, that 1918 epic loss to Yale. Just one goal away from making it to the Final Four.
Yeah, there was a lot there in that game. So much exciting lacrosse last postseason. Was not without controversy, I will say that, but was definitely a really compelling postseason in general. A face-off victory for Sweeney and Penn State, and the Lions have a chance to tie things up at 10. And with about 3 minutes to go in the third, Penn State back on offense, having given up a 3-goal run by Penn.
Yeah, they're going to want to make the most of this possession. Try and swing momentum back. What a great check by BJ.
He almost got the ground ball. Teammate comes in, and that's the goal scorer, Kyle Thornton.
Yep. Swings it across field to Vanchek. Gets it to McKilrick.
Physicality from Penn has certainly gone up a notch in this third quarter.
That was a great takeaway check by BJ.
And the Quakers content to take some of this timer off the scoreboard and get another good look.
Yeah, I mean, I like their offense when they get the ball moving, swing it around, get everyone a touch or two before you get into the offense. Tends to get the defense spread out. There's a nice look by Goldner, but a good save by Knies. He's got it clamped, and Goldner's got his stick on it.
Goldner looking for his second goal today, but it is
interference. It's Penn State ball.
Possession for the Lions with less than 2 to go in the third.
Yeah, if the goalie has a clean clamp, you can't stick your stick under there, which is exactly what Goldner did. Penn pressing out on the clear. Not making it easy, but Penn State gets it done.
I brought this statistic up before. I will again. Duke 23 of 30 on clear attempts in Charlotte last week. A big part of why Penn got a 3-goal win over a top 10 team.
Well, you could see all the attackmen were covered, even though they were spread out. So there was nobody that wasn't really covered, but Penn State was able to deal with the pressure.
Amen. Trying to get to the doorstep. Pushed back. Quality defense again from Penn.
Vanchek getting physical with them there.
$1:14 to go here in the third. Amen to the front. A quick shot.
What
We're
a
tied
shot.
up again. Well done there quickly by Jack Trainer, his second goal, and it's 10 apiece.
When he makes a feed, you'll see on the replay here, it goes right to the player's stick, and all they got to do is catch and shoot. That's easy to finish and beat a goalie from 6 yards.
There's Amen again, making things happen for Penn State.
Tying it up, 10-10.
This is about where we expect it to be at this point in the game, I'd imagine.
Yes.
Number 2 against number 6.
Except after the first quarter, I thought it might be 15-15.
Right. Could end up being right around what the final score reads. But plenty of lacrosse left before we get to that point. Gallagher and Arceri at X once again.
I'd put the over-under on total goals around 32.
Okay. Gallagher once more getting the best of Arceri And he
It's a great face-off win.
has really, really been on one today.
So the Quakers can work for the last shot.
Yep. They'll get the personnel they need onto the field. Here's Schultz.
Shipley and Robshaw at the midfield.
This is
Robshaw.
Penn with 50 to shoot. About 30 seconds left on the third quarter timer.
Nice invert here. Got the short stick behind. Drew's going to see if he can shake him or just run the clock down.
Definitely making sure Penn State doesn't get any semblance of a chance. Here's Gergar.
You get it to the quarterback, who gets it to Shipley. He's
Point.
got the gun.
Nice
Let it
spin.
fly. Let it fly, son.
There it is. Oh, and Kanice with the stop. The rebound is put back in by Lully.
Sean Lully collecting another rebound, but this time instead of feeding it, puts it home.
He knows what to do. And with 7 seconds left in the third, it's 11-10. The Quakers once again in front. And this is well created at the beginning, and then the rebound right to Lully. But good stuff initially by Shipley to make the play happen.
Lully is filling up the stat sheet today once again.
He came in with 10 goals, 3 assists. He's just adding to both of those totals.
He had, he didn't start freshman year. Last year he started. He probably had 47 points across his first 2 seasons. On track to probably get to 100 points for his career. Great mark to get. He might get to 100 points this year.
Yeah.
And still have a senior year left.
Yeah, he has certainly been everywhere for Penn. Every time it seems like they're doing something right on offense. 2-2 in white in the middle of that. Gallagher again dominating at the X. Great pass, another chance. Ooh, just wide, right at the buzzer.
Boy, that would have been something.
Yeah, I mean, it was something to get the chance nonetheless.
Absolutely, 7 seconds.
Kyle Gallagher continues to be a man at the face-off X, and he's a big part of why Penn heads into the fourth, leading 11-10. We'll be back with the final 15 after this. Don't go anywhere. Exciting one in Philly.
Hi, I'm Scott, and I love Chick-fil-A nuggets because the flavor is unparalleled. As soon as you bite into them, you're in a happy place. The seasoning is perfect.
Talking about his son, Leo, being able to do the air gate. We've seen a lot of great highlights in terms of goals today. I don't know if we're going to see one of those.
Yeah, we'll
but
see.
If we do,
we'll see. I was actually referring to my son, Dean, who plays lacrosse at Drexel. They actually have a game against Marquette going on about 15 blocks from here.
Gotcha. Shortest road trip in college sports.
Yeah.
So
that's why I love that they're doing the Philly 4, and we'll look forward to that next weekend.
That went off of our series foot. It should and is Penn ball. So even though our Arceri looked like he was going to win that faceoff, it continues the theme of Gallagher and the Penn Wings giving him a very good photo fits throughout the day.
Well, usually luck favors the Quakers in Franklin Field.
This historic venue with a great crowd on hand and a chance for Penn to take its first 2-goal lead since the first quarter when they led 4-2 on the back of a 4-0 run.
Right, it seems like a long time ago now.
Certainly does. Bedard down to X and Gergar, across the way to Lully, who's been a beast.
It's a good term for it. 6'2", 195. The pride of half Hollow Hills East on Long Island.
Oh,
Here
what
he
a
is.
spin move, rinsing the defender, but not getting the shot on target. In front, not quite for Schultz. That's a great feed, though,
yes,
by
it was.
Dylan Gergar.
Yes, it was.
So a minute gone by in the fourth, and the Quakers coming out hot here in the final frame.
They are executing on offense very nicely here.
And that shot leads to a shot clock reset. So Penn, which played the role of trailer for most of this game, now in the driver's seat somewhat. But nobody has gotten much of anything when it comes to separation. 2 evenly matched teams. Goldner shot again right at Kanice. That's a couple of them that have been right at the goalie.
Right on the stick, yep. And the Penn State defender was on his hands. And here's a Penn State defender with a goal.
Tie game once again. Nick
Cardeal.
Wow.
He's an All-American. He just showed why.
And you knew that he was going to shoot that pretty much from the time he crossed midfield.
Yep, so both senior captain defenders on both squads get a clear and a goal in this game.
Thornton and Cardeal, and yeah, that one even though Patrick Birkinshaw's had himself a fine game, is going to be tough to stop.
Yes. I find it's very hard for goalies to track the ball out of the long pole. It's just it's coming from a different angle. You know, the release point's much higher when they come overhand.
Yeah.
It's harder for the goalie to stop.
Is it timing at a certain point where a short stick, you know the ball's coming out across at a certain point?
If you figure for every 100 shots they see, you know, 98 of them are out of a short stick. So it's just a different, you know, they're just not as well practiced at tracking the ball coming out of a long pole.
Back to X with the game knotted at 11. Gallagher scoops it to a teammate.
It's a great face-off.
Yeah, it is. He's won face-offs in multiple ways, done some solo work.
He raked that and flipped it right back to Piper Bond, who was running across the field behind him.
Getting the wings involved, and now Goldner has it for Penn. He scored his 100th career goal earlier today, and that would have been 101, but it was just wide. The Quakers do back it up, however.
That was sneaky, huh? I was
Yeah.
not expecting a shot there.
Something of an impossible angle, but
Yes.
Quakers still with it.
I would have loved to have seen him take another step and improve the angle. But he did. If he surprised me, I think he was trying to surprise the goalie. Nice move.
Wow.
Made him fall down. Fernandez.
The spin, but
Yeah, Postel had a great move up there.
Yeah, he did. Here's Lully trying to
Let
get
it fly,
some
Sean.
space.
Yeah, great save, Knies.
Wow, really well done there.
But he lost possession.
Oh, good. That thing's right in front of the cage, and then it's kind of picked up by Knies. We do have a player
Somebody's down. Is that Postel? Is hurt?
Looks like definitely a Penn player, and trying to get the number.
I think it's Postel.
Yeah, that was a scrum
Kivat.
right by the cage, and that is certainly Kivat Postel. And so play stop says to make sure that he's all right. Did you see what happened there?
I did not see how he got injured. Obviously, there were bodies flying around the ball there, but he may have taken a check on the leg. But he can't put any weight on that right leg.
And a couple of setbacks here.
And he's played really well today.
Yeah, he has. For Penn State, Braden Peck got hit on the knee a couple of times, and now Postel having somebody help him off the field.
It's an unfortunate reality in any physical sport. You're going to have some injuries, but hopefully Kivat will be okay and be able to come back and help them out later in the game, or certainly by next Friday.
That's a Villanova matchup on tap for Penn.
Yes, the Wildcats and the Quakers will go at it on Friday night in Franklin Field, right after the Drexel Dragons and St. Joe's play prior in Franklin Field.
And then you get Penn taking on St. Joe's.
That's
later.
right. On Sunday.
On Sunday.
At St. Joe's, yep. And Drexel will play Villanova.
All right, so a chance for Penn State to retake the lead. They've led by as many as 3. Scored the most recent goal of this game. Space here and a shot upper left 90
shot.
at home. TJ Malone, sophomore out of Westchester, another Haverford School product.
Really nice player.
And he gives the Lions a 12-11 lead. 3 minutes gone by in the 4th, and he did that mostly by himself.
Yeah, unassisted goal. Here he is with the ball. Let's see, you never want to go for the over the head because you lose, you give up your position as a defender. Much prefer to see the defender take an angle and try and stay on his hands or hip and affect the shot. But Malone got free. He knew what to do with it.
That's right. Penn State back in front, and we expect this game to pretty much be like this the rest of the way as it's been throughout, in the sense that it'll be close, within 1 to 2 goals, maybe 3 at most, but
12-11 Penn State.
Very evenly matched,
With
and all the
12
statistics bear that out too,
Oh,
with the
yeah.
possible exception of the face-off stats.
Yeah, right. You hate to think where the score would be if Penn State was winning the face-off battle.
And they did get that one. Arceri and his wings doing
Yep.
the job, and now Ament with Penn State getting the chance to make it a 2-goal advantage again.
And their fans giving a nice cheer there. They know how important these possessions are now.
Oh, yeah. Minute to shoot for the Nittany Lions, looking for their 4th win of the year. Malone scored the most recent goal. Tries again,
what a
and he
shot.
gets it to go lower right.
Malone is picking his spot and hitting it.
Didn't seem like, or I should say it seemed like he was heavily contested there, but that did not.
He was able to get his hands free he's on his back hip, but wasn't able to give the shove until after he released the shot. So the shot was unaffected, and he went back pipe low,
Just like
which is
that.
always a good spot to hit as a shooter.
Yeah. A quick 3-0 run for Penn State.
Oh, they're getting the "We Are" chant going over there.
That's 3-0 in this fourth quarter, I should mention. Penn still looking for its first fourth quarter goal.
A game of runs. You said it in the first half. It's continued. That's
Gallagher
a great job.
Smacks it to the side.
Yeah,
well done there.
He's really terrific. You know, Drexel and Penn scrimmaged a couple weeks ago, and I got to meet Gallagher's parents. What a fine family. And they're so proud of their son, as they should be. And he's really been a terrific addition ever since he transferred from Hofstra. You know, he was an all-conference face-off guy at Hofstra in the CAA for a couple of years. And then we've had the luxury of having him on the Quaker squad last year and this year.
Stayed somewhat local from Northport.
Yes,
down in
Long
the Philly
Island
area.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, Hofstra will host the Ivy League tournament.
That's correct.
This year.
That's correct. Another venue I've played in many times, both college and club. We used to go up to Hofstra every year. It was like our home game away from home because half our team was from Long Island. Let's go, Lully.
In front. And
Great
a shot
look.
and a goal.
There's a nice combo there.
Penn back within one.
Lully to Gergar.
Gergar wasting no time, and of course, if Penn is doing something well, Lully's probably going to be in the middle of it. This is no different.
He's really emerging as a star in the absence of Sam Hanley. What a great look and a great finish. Love the cutting towards the crease. Put the ball on the cutter's ear. All they got to do is quick stick it to the back pipe. It's goal every time.
No question. 10:23 left in this one. And Gergar with 4 goals today, doubling his season total. He's got 8 on the young campaign. As the Quakers try to go to 2-1. If they do so, they'll have done that on the back of 2 wins over top 10 opponents.
Arcieri gets the clamp and wins it to himself backwards.
Now
See if they can get it cleared.
Picking things up in this fourth quarter. It's always in the back of the mind. How is Kyle Gallagher doing in terms of fatigue? He has put a lot of time in at the X today.
Yeah, and they spelled Arcieri along the way, so he's probably a little bit fresher.
Without question.
Grant Haas was able to clear it. Nice pass from Arcieri after the face-off win. And now Penn State will possess with just under 10 minutes to play and a 1-goal lead.
Penn State looking for its 3rd win over a Philly area team. Villanova and St. Joe's both fell to this number 2 Nittany Lions squad.
He's a physical player.
At the point. And back up top again for the Nittany Lions with 30 to shoot. Amen.
Looking to get a shot. He's
trying to get a little bit of space, and that one, not much mustard on that one. Birkinshaw, quick work, and you can credit Ivanchik for making that a difficult shot.
Yes, he got his stick under his arm as he went to shoot it, and it made for an easy save for Birkinshaw. Nice clear there from McKelrick to Piper Bond. The short stick D-middies doing what they do. They don't get a lot of glory, but, you know, getting the ground balls and moving the ball in between the lines, as they say, in between the restraining lines is a critical job for any team.
Those are the players, maybe more than any others, that I got to put wins on tape,
yes,
as
right.
a lot of players like to say, especially in,
That's right.
in football.
There's Bedard carrying down the right
Ooh,
side.
down to X, almost an unforced turnover, but the Quakers still with it. Fernandez, 1 goal today. Some space. Oh, that got deflected by a defender. That was off the stick of Brian Townsend.
Yeah, it was a good play by him.
Backed up by Goldner for Penn. 28 to shoot for the Quakers. Bedard. Gergar and across the way. And here is Rob Shaw. That shot
yes.
open in, a tie game.
There it is.
The senior from Mendham, New Jersey, knots it up at 13 with 8:15 to go. Well done on the solo effort, and the Quakers got a little dicey there during that possession, but they made it happen anyway.
Yes, they did, and it brings the bench and the crowd alive. That's a great shot, lefty. Rob Shaw showing why he's in the lineup as a senior, earned his way up.
That's a big, big goal for the Quakers.
Probably the biggest goal of his career.
Imagine so, and after a 3-0 Penn State run to start the fourth, the Quakers have ripped off a mini 2-0 spurt, and again, we are knotted up.
13-13, 8:15 to go.
What did you say the over-under was, 32?
I believe I did, yes. What do you think?
Oh, man.
Pretty good call, right?
That's a good call. That's what the Vegas people are so good at.
Yes, they are.
It's obscene how close they get. I guess for technicality's sake, you'd probably make the over-under like 31.5 or 32.5.
Right, exactly.
But right around there. There's Mac O'Keefe. Got slapped at from behind with a whistle stopping play.
I don't know what they're calling.
I think it's two of us. Penn State will keep it with exactly 8 to go.
Still Penn State ball, and they got a fresh shot clock.
Largest lead for either team was 7-4 for Penn State. The Quakers have led by 2 a couple of times. Here's TJ Malone, has scored recently for the Nittany Lions.
Scored a couple.
And get it to X through Amon, and then back around the way and up top. Sweeney at the point. Now Kelly, who had a crazy through the legs goal in the first half.
Yeah,
One
that
of
was
a number
sweet.
of highlight goals.
That was sweet. There he is. He's looking to shake his man right now.
Halfway through the fourth, Penn State not getting much of anything just yet on this possession.
See
Here's
that
Malone.
behind the back pass.
Wow.
The talent on the field is something.
Yeah, having fun out there too. Here's O'Keefe. Backing down Thornton, that bullet shot is through and into the net. 14-13, what an effort by O'Keefe.
You could just feel that one coming as he was getting to the center of the field. So yeah, that's what I like. He gets to the center of the field. He's got the entire 6x6 to shoot at. And Kyle Thornton was trying to push him away, but O'Keefe was able to just, as he's leaning away, rip it.
Timeout.
We are set up for an incredibly exciting finish here at Franklin Field, which we expected from the jump, mind you. Number 2 Penn State up 14-13 over number 6 Penn. 7:14 to go in this fantastic early season Division I lacrosse game. With Jersey Joe Gillette, Varun Raghupathy here with you. It is certainly chilly, but the atmosphere heating up, and the shots seem to be doing so as well. We've had some howitzers in this fourth quarter.
We really have. Well, that's what you expect from Mac O'Keefe. That was a great one. He just canned for, you give Penn State the lead again.
We go back to the X for the most part. Kyle Gallagher has been phenomenal for Penn against Gerard Arceri, who has usually done really well against Penn. This time Gallagher wins it pretty quickly, gets to it himself. Oh, and he throws it past Goldner.
Yeah.
Felt like he could have handled that one for a little bit longer. There's a couple of times now where that's happened.
Yes, just make sure it's in your cross and be a little more sure of it. But the thing is, he's getting pressure from all sides. He knows he's got to get rid of it quickly. So the idea wasn't bad. It was the execution.
Yeah.
Uh-oh,
Great pass
wide
ahead.
open.
Bouncer shot is
Dylan
through.
Folds, that's a great look.
That was a great find there with Penn's defense not quite set, and it's a 2-goal lead again for the Lions. 15-13, less than 7 left, and Penn State takes what might have been a Penn face-off win and converts it into a goal for themselves. This pass right here from Bobby Burns is a phenomenal find.
Yeah, he's a nice player. A nice finish by Dylan Folds.
That's one of those. Soccer, it's like between multi-line passes.
Yes.
Driving the ball downfield.
Well, I think the Penn defender must have turned his head, and Folds made him pay by cutting back door, because he shouldn't be that wide open in front of the crease.
Right. Back to X and Gallagher.
That's why they tell the defenders, keep your head on a swivel.
That's right.
Know where your man is and where the ball is at all times.
Arceri for Penn State, Gallagher for Penn. Gallagher wrests it away, and he continues to give Penn the opportunities to stick around and take leads, and Lord knows that he's done his job today.
Yes, he has, and he had a little less pressure that time, so he was able to make sure of the offensive possession as he got it to Lully, and Penn will now settle in for its possession with 6:25 to play. Quakers down 2.
Here's Lully. Now Shipley to the middle. Jump shot over the cage, but backed up.
That was off the crossbar.
Gergar is there.
Just ticked the crossbar as it went over.
Coming up on 6 minutes to go. And Gergar spinning doorstep, almost had a seam there. Good pass for Goldner, who shot as well above the cage, but Gergar is there to scoop a new lacrosse ball up.
Gergar's got great lacrosse IQ. He inside rolled there, but didn't quite have it, and he was able to back away and find Goldner for the shot up top. Goldner just air mails it a little bit high. Now the Quakers spin it. Back to Gergar on the right side. Up to Shipley.
At the point, bouncer. Oh, but it
It's a
goes
goal.
in.
That's
yeah.
a goal. That's a goal.
Oh, and oh man, that Penn State goalie.
He's upset,
is
but
really livid. But that looked like it hit the net.
Went off. Well, either the ball hit it or his stick hit it.
That's right.
You know, and that may be what he's trying to tell the ref. But
Saying, hey, the ball didn't cross the line. That was just my stick hitting it. But
I think it did cross the line, and he was able to knock it back out. Let's see if we can tell. I think you can tell that it's crossed the line there.
yeah,
We'd have to watch it in slow motion, but
that definitely felt like.
he scraped the ball out, and as he did that, the tip of his stick was hitting the net. About midway up, where the netting is a good 6 inches the other side of the goal line. So I do believe that ball was across the goal line.
Yeah, Colby Canese almost made a great save, but it's back to a 1-goal contest. 15-14. As we go back to X, Gallagher bulldog that thing out of there. Arceri somehow kept it in his cross, but it was knocked away by the Penn wings, and Bedard.
It's a great play.
It's a smart thing and gets it back so the Quakers can build from the back.
Yeah, just maintain possession. There's a good look. Bedard runs up on it. Is able to get it to his attackman, Adam Goldner.
Quakers do have both timeouts left. If Coach Murphy feels the need to talk it over, he can do so. Penn State 1 timeout remaining.
They don't do you any good after the game, so if there's a good spot, you might as well use them.
There's a bouncer that's wide to the left.
That might be Penn State ball. Yes, it is.
It's backed up by the Lions, courtesy of Nick Cardeal, who has a long pole goal as well in this game.
Senior captain came to play today.
Yeah, that's right. Chance to tie for Penn goes begging, and less than 5 left in this one.
They don't have it cleared just yet, but that's a nice crossfield pass to get it done for Penn State. They're nursing a 1-goal lead with 4.5 to play.
It's Grant Ament. It's been phenomenal today for Penn State. One of their quarterbacks. Sweeney. Malone. O'Keefe getting a step to the doorstep, and he
what a play.
slides it in.
O'Keefe, great goal scorer that he is.
You can see once he beat his defender, he had the space he needed, and he kind of just was in his bag at that point. 16-14, Penn State back up by 2. Let's see again as he goes down toward the cage. And he beat Thornton. And he just took enough time and made it happen.
Squad number 3, Nick O'Keefe, unassisted at 10-46.
So O'Keefe giving Penn State that precious 2-goal advantage. Much of the game has kind of been spent with Penn State up by 2 and then 1 and then tied. And Penn has spent a little bit of time in front, including going into the 4th and early in the first quarter. But
yeah, I'd say Penn State's had the lead, or it's been tied 90% of the game.
Yeah.
So 2-goal deficit, not too much, but Penn will need to get one soon here.
Gallagher slings it back to his teammate, and he continues to give the red and blue the chances they so desperately need.
Who's going to be the hero to step up for the Quakers? Sam Hanley is at home in Portland, Oregon, recovering from an injury suffered in that Maryland game. If he was on the field, certainly he would be a guy they might run the offense through.
Definitely have to look at 22 in white, Sean Lully. And he has it now. Quickly gets rid of it. The low shot is in.
Rope shot again.
Wow. And you can tell how pumped up he is to have made it a one-goal game again. And it's Lully finding him, and it's Rob Shaw converting.
Yeah, he's bringing the heat in the fourth quarter. Rob Shaw with the lefty.
Great shot.
Yeah, it was pretty. Pretty.
And goal is second in the game and third of the year. Number 8, Drew Rockshaw.
The Kivat Postels, and he's on crutches there. You see that?
Yep. So wish him a speedy recovery. We're not going to see him this game, but hopefully we'll next week.
Yeah.
So about 3.5 left, and as we figured, neither team pulling away, and that's exactly what we expected with number 2 and number 6 getting together.
Yeah, it's going to the wire, I think. Sweeney coming from the wing for Penn State. Piper Bond coming from the near wing for Penn. Gallagher
trying to dig it away. Arceri is there. Gallagher giving chase, and he almost picked it up. Arceri got the check in. And
that's a great hit by Piper Bond. Arceri just checked Gallagher around the neck.
And another check. Sweeney couldn't quite clear it. Now Penn State does have it. It's Amen wriggling out of there.
What a scrap. That was a great scrap. I mean, that's why you love the game of lacrosse, right there.
Penn State fans showing their appreciation, but all around, that's the kind of face-off battle you expect in a game like this.
Indeed. A couple All-Americans going at it.
And here's Trainer with Bond on him. Trainer to the point.
Safe to say the boys' adrenaline is pumping right now.
Without question. It's probably not cold for them at this moment.
No, they don't feel it.
40 on the timer for Penn State. Clinging to a 1-goal lead with 2.5 left. Here's Malone taking a pick, getting it to X. Folds has been big. Now up top.
Trainer.
To the left doorstep. The shot is up and over the cross of Birkinshaw in, and again Penn
State
goal.
Very big goal.
A 2-goal lead. Oh yeah.
He's a great dodger. I think that's his third of the day.
Just gets the step, switches hands.
Yep.
Nicely done.
Very nice.
And the 17-15 scoreline is what Penn lost by to Maryland in the season opener. So the goals have been there for the Quakers. It's the concession of goals that has been a bit of a bugaboo at times.
And I think we said that early on in the broadcast. The defense is a question mark. You know the offense is going to score. But you also you get to see why those scraps are so critically important, especially at this stage of the game. Penn State won that one, and they got a goal off that possession to reestablish their lead at 2 with 2:20 to play.
And that was a true 50-50 face-off.
Yes, it was.
This time, Arceri makes quick work.
Yep, winning a big one.
And Arceri hasn't had as good of a game as we would have expected from him, but he has been better toward the end of it.
Yes.
Sometimes that's what truly counts as Amen holds on to it for Penn State. 2 minutes remaining and a chance for...
They're going to work the clock as much as they can.
The Nittany Lions to do just that. They can take about half of the clock away if they really bleed down the shot clock.
No reason not to. Of course, Penn will step up their pressure, press out a little bit, but you get somebody as athletic as Jack Trainer with the ball out here at the 40-yard line. He's got all that space around him. It's not much a short pole can do on him to take it away. Now you got a JoJo Biddle on the ball. See if he can get a check on Malone.
25 to shoot. Here's O'Keefe. We know he's got a hard shot.
Yep, Thornton on O'Keefe, as he has been all day.
A flag coming out.
What they call moving pick.
You hear the Penn fans cheering. And it should be Penn ball based on those cheers and the call.
I wonder what the call was.
You said moving pick initially. It felt like it was off the ball.
Right, that's why I said it, but I haven't seen a call.
So if it is an extra man opportunity, the Quakers 1 of 5 on those in the early part of this year.
Oh, we're man up. Penn is man up.
You can hear the Penn State fans voicing their displeasure
Well, I think it was not a moving pick. I think it was something along the lines of a unsportsmanlike.
Wow.
Like maybe somebody took a swing or something of that nature.
In any case,
Penalty is locked in.
a chance for Penn to at least have this deficit right here. Quakers looking for their second EMO goal of the season. A minute left.
Great
Right on the
look.
doorstep, and it's a goal. Schultz gets it. What a find, though.
Well, I think that's going to be an unreleasable penalty, too, if it was an unsportsmanlike conduct.
Wisconsin said it was locked in, so.
Yep.
So the Quakers, the door is still ajar. How about this
Watch
pass?
Lowly with the skip pass to the doorstep. No look. And Schultz has the easy finish on the doorstep.
Sean Lelly has been as good as anybody on this field today.
And unlike the last game where he had, 6 goals and 1 assist?
Yeah.
Today he's probably got 4 assists, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, you said it. I mean, he might meet his point total in the first 2 years and this year.
Yeah, exactly.
At 47, he'll probably get to
Absolutely.
50 this year.
I think he will. I think he may even exceed 50 this year.
So exactly 1 minute left and a 1-goal game, and now a timeout taken by Penn. We'll keep it right here as we're getting the kind of conclusion, frankly, as we expected.
Absolutely, Arun. It's a pleasure to call the game with you.
You as well.
Even though my toes are a little bit frozen right now.
Yeah, the walk home is going to be a little dicey, but.
But no, the Quakers have a little momentum now, and it all comes down to face-off. And as you said, it's the face-offs in the last few minutes that mean the most. Gallagher's had his way most of the day, but Arceri has come back and had a nice fourth quarter. So this next face-off battle, if it becomes a 50-50 ball, you're going to see 6 guys going at it.
Oh, yeah. And again, Penn State's going to be man down because it's an unreleasable.
Oh, that's right. So it'd be 5 guys. It'd be
Right.
3-on-2 at the face-off. My apologies.
So at every level, Penn will have an advantage. They just got their second man-up goal of the year. They're now 2 for 6 in that category this season. 1 more, and we'll have a tie game. And if Sean Lully's play is any indication, they should get a chance.
Yeah, look, as long as you should never lose when it's 3-on-2 face-off, but it can happen. So, the key is win the face-off. If you win the face-off, then you can enjoy that man up.
Yep. No question.
And I want to give some props to Mike Abbott, the offensive coordinator, came into Penn last year and absolutely, just got things going. I think they talk about sharing the rock a lot, move the ball, get everyone involved, and you'll see there's a lot of scorers for Penn if you check their box scores. And the offensive philosophy has been get into early offense, play fast, but get everyone involved and share the rock. And man, has it paid dividends. This team is explosive on the offensive end of the field.
Exactly 60 seconds remaining as both teams break their huddles. Penn out of its timeout. Both teams have 1 timeout remaining, so we could have a couple more stoppages. But the Quakers will be man up the rest of the way, and a chance, therefore, to tie things up as Penn State tries desperately to hold on to a 1-goal game at the end of what's been a classic.
So you see on the far side, the top of the screen, B.J. Farrar is solo. No Penn State player on the far wing due to the man down situation. Who wins the clamp? I mean, this is huge.
Gallagher and Arceri. Gallagher has been money for the most part for Penn. Certainly one of his better performances in a white shirt.
Sweeney for Penn State and Bedard for Penn coming from this
Gallagher
side.
loops it up and gets it to Farrar. What a play by the Penn Fogo.
Great possession. Great win. Get into the extra man offense. No need to rush it.
About 40 seconds left. Here's Lully and now Goldner. Lully been the best offensive player for Penn. He has it at the point. Down to 30 seconds left.
Gergar, let it rip. Nope.
Across the way. Here it is. Goldner high above and backed up with 26 seconds left. Schultz goes to get it. He'll have to start from farther back.
You got Goldner on the high crease.
Schultz to X.
Goes to Rob Shaw.
And now Lully. Gergar lets it rip and scores!
Indeed. Dylan Gergar.
Wow.
17-17 with 17 seconds left.
And by the way, still a man-up opportunity in the offing potentially
That's right.
for Penn.
That's right.
How about this effort from Gergar? Mature shot.
I like it. He went low. He went high to low, changed the elevations, as they say, makes it harder. And it's the farthest, the goalie's stick is already high. So a low shot forces him to go the farthest. And he puts heat on that one, a little mustard on that one.
So because of an unsportsmanlike conduct on Penn State, the Quakers, who were down 17-15, got 2 extra man goals. That penalty was locked in for the rest of regulation. And an opportunity here for the red and blue, if they win this faceoff, to get a quick shot. Now, if they win the faceoff, they can also call a timeout.
Yes, indeed. I don't know if they'll do that, but it depends on whether they win it forward or backwards. 17-17, 34 goals. So we're over.
We are over,
the
yeah.
over-under. The whistle.
Down
and
to 13
grinding.
seconds. Gallagher trying to get to it. Arceri picks it up. 8 seconds left.
Good check. They got it out of his stick. He got it back.
5
Arceri
seconds.
with the ball.
Arceri checks.
Ball down.
Farrar throws it ahead.
Got
2
numbers.
seconds.
Go, Gallagher, go.
And that is the end of 4 quarters. Well, this is an appropriate conclusion to this one with how evenly matched these 2 teams are. 17 apiece. We'll step aside real quick. An extra session on the way with Penn. A 2-goal comeback at the end to make a thriller. Get some free lacrosse. 17 a pop. Number 6 Penn scored 2 goals at the end against number 2 Penn State. Both were extra man scores. And now we go to golden goal with 4 minutes on the overtime clock. With Jersey Joe Gillette, Varun Raghupathi here with you. I know that we expected a good one.
Yes.
But, man, this is even exceeding that.
Can you say overtime? Sudden victory. See what happens.
And by the way, Kyle Gallagher is about to take his 39th face-off of the game. He hasn't come out. And
what a warrior. What a warrior.
As you said, he's probably exhausted, but at this point, it's all adrenaline.
Yep. They're not taking him out, that's for sure.
Arceri against Gallagher. And Arceri came on strong in the 4th quarter.
They flipped the fields now. Penn's defending the goal on the left and Penn State on the right.
Back to even strength.
Arceri wins it.
Yes, he does. Next one gets it. And so Penn State, through Mac O'Keefe, will take its time. The shot clock isn't moving.
I mean, I would say, not to be a Las Vegas odds guy, but odds are favoring Penn State just because they have such a potent offense and, they got 76 seconds to get a good shot.
Yeah.
And they've got timeouts, too. They could call timeout and draw something up, but maybe they discussed that before the overtime. If we get the ball, here's what we're going to do, so they don't have to waste the timeout in case it goes back and forth. There's a few possessions.
Now the clock is moving. That's why play stopped to get the shot clock in order. 3.5 left. Here's Penn State with quarterback.
Next goal wins.
And aim it there. Aim it at X in the sudden victory overtime period.
Vanchek, I think, has kind of controlled Ament scoring today, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Done a good job on him.
He's gotten his, but not as much as you would expect.
Right.
Malone spinning. Farrar sends it back.
D.
To the middle, there's a push shot right to the cross.
Birkinshaw with the save. Now he kind of threw that a little bit.
Whoa!
He caught him on the helmet.
Whoa! And he's still headed in his cross, Jack
Bedard
Kelly.
caught him in the helmet. Jack Kelly was able to, and it's a winning goal by Mac O'Keefe.
What a
Penn
wild
State
sequence at the end.
Yeah, it was wild, all right. Birkinshaw a little bit careless on the clearing pass, and Penn State intercepted it and comes right back down and scores.
Oh, it seemed like the
It's a
Quakers
heartbreaker.
were going to have an opportunity, and they just couldn't get that offensive possession.
No.
And after getting 2 goals at the end,